Good. Aloha, cupcakes. We're going to start testing out enamels. Now, there are a lot of different enamel brands that are out there, and a lot of you have expressed your opinions about them. Today, though, we're going to start off with Custom Shop. Now, this is their lettering enamel. It's the Easy Flow paint, and a lot of you have asked a lot of questions over the years about it, and a lot of you have expressed your opinions about it. So today, I'm going to try it out and see how it goes. So your favorite genius over here neglected to turn on the cameras, so we're starting over. So I've already gone through a few stripes with it. I wasn't entirely liking the way that this is working. The red seemed to dry on me almost as quickly as I was paleting, and it's inside of my garage right now. We're at like 72 degrees, and I'm sitting at maybe 30% humidity because it was kind enough to rain and snow for the last couple of days. So I shouldn't be drying out as quickly as I am. Now, one thing I am paleting out just on paper, I just squirted the paint onto it. I'm currently using the Wizard Typhoon brush, and I'm using it because it holds more paint. So I want to see if I can pull some consistency out of this. Because it really is kind of struggling. Like I'm having a struggle keeping the paint wet, and I'm constantly dipping in the reducer when I don't think I should be. So now another thing is I'm noticing with this paint, the reducer that I'm working with smells an awful lot like lacquer thinner. Sorry. And it stands to reason that, TCP, they make a lot of urethane products, and I think that's predominantly what they work with. So I have a feeling that if I start to work with this the same way that I would work with urethane, I'm probably going to get some better results. But just off of a palette, just trying to go for it, not really my favorite thing so far. So now I will say that this stuff covers consistently. Like I'm pretty surprised how well that coverage just worked for just that purpose, like right in there. Now, pulling these lines here with a chisel brush and just pulling it so that it tapers out, a lot of times I get like the brush kind of fades off towards the edges when I'm doing this. But this paint is, it's maintaining some consistency there. So let's try it again. This time I'm actually going to palette out in a cup. So what I'm doing is I put the paint in the cup, put a little bit of reducer in it, and then I'm just smoothing everything out on the paper. Now this seems to be pulling a whole lot cleaner. Yeah, I'm considerably happier with the way that this is pulling because I'm not, and I realize it's just one line. We're going to try quite a few more on this one. I'm also going to speed it up because I was painting pretty slow this night. But this, from here, everything seems to be flowing like normal. And I think just using the cup instead of just paleting on the paper is the difference here. Because it seems to be working a whole lot better doing it this way. Like I'm pulling a lot more even lines. I'm not constantly dipping in the reducer so much, but I am using, I'm still putting a little bit more of the paint and then paleting it out just to get it flat again. But this is a vast improvement. I mean, the coverage on it seems pretty clean, other than I'm doing this on a canvas board, so I didn't sand it. It's not totally smooth, so there's little pits and stuff throughout. But yeah, it seems to be just fine. Now, I did get to a point where I'm switching out brushes and I'm switching over to a Dragonfly. And from here, the Dragonfly is, I'm touching up some of these because it's a canvas. They will eventually just drive me insane that there's these weird deficiencies in the line. So yeah, I wouldn't correct them. But yeah, I'm getting a really good consistent flow now. I really like the way that this is flowing as smoothly as it is. And you can almost see in the camera angle here from the overhead that you can see dry spots because this paint dries super quick. And I can see that being really useful for certain things, like depending on if you're doing, say, like a panel jam or something like that. Like, and you need to get to your second color because you only have like 5 minutes on the clock. Now, I got a few other tests that I'm going to do. There will be a follow-up to this video because I want to see what happens when I use a hardener in it, and I want to see if that changes how it flows. Now, I'm going to give the red a second shot here. I'm switching brushes because that was not my favorite brush. I discovered a brush that I haven't used for 15 years, and I've been forcing myself to use it, but it's not my favorite. So now using a long handle brush gives me a little bit more room so I could pull some of these lines without having to get super in close, and I don't drag my knuckles into things. That's the only reason we're using it. But yeah, I'm getting consistent line. Even now with the red, which was... Oh, you didn't see that video. I was absolutely hating the way the red was flowing. It was drying on me faster than I could palette. So the cup clearly is the winner on this. And now that I've sorted myself out and figured out how to palette correctly with this one, this paint's fine. Like, it flows well. It smells like a less stinky urethane, but it flows just fine. It's coating well, even in the spots where I didn't do this right and I'm having to correct myself. But yeah, it's a decent enough paint. I don't see any problems with this one, but I'm also going to do some more tests. Like with anything, there's a learning curve involved in it. This, we needed to treat a little bit more like I would a urethane, paleting out of the cup instead of just trying to use it out on the palette. And yes, the reducer has a smell to it. The paint does too. Believe it or not, though, and this might surprise you, all paint has a smell to it. I don't know if you knew that. So till the next video, stay moist, my